laughter, misplaced miracles, unspeakable pain, and yes, forgiveness. It's all happening Sunday, November 17th, 4 p.m. at the Miracle Theater in Inglewood, 226 South Market Street. Last year, audiences raved. Best show in decades. An unforgettable night. Groundbreaking. Sweet Spot Live was thought-provoking and enlightening. Standing ovations begging for more. Please, more. It was a great night. So back by popular demand, it's Sweet Spot Live with Angelique Francis. Get your tickets right now at themiracleinglewood.com. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you in the Sweet Spot.
And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. Look, the only reason I survive, cause it's special first. You get successful, then it gets stressful thirst. Gonna test you, see what your texture's worth. Diamonds and pipes, one of them pressure burst. Street, still I get checks and spurts. I'm for peace, but before I get pressed, I murk. Better days prayed for, but expecting worse. At this level, boy, I'm just less concerned. Cruising in the 6, looking at the proceeds of rap music on my wrist. Drop another mixtape, my booming out this young Malcolm. I'm the leader of the movement out this love. And this is what it feels like. Reach a level, make you question, is it real life? All of good, all of real tight. And the only rule, keep your dollar bills and right. This is what it feels like.
KBLA Talk 1580.
And this is what it feels like.
Yep. Well, it's what community feels like right now. We're wrapping our arms around you and one another and talking it out, hugging it out, thugging it out. That's what we're doing around here. 800-920-1580. You are invited in. And, you know, aside from what I was talking about regarding incompetence, infighting, which is already starting. I shared with you yesterday, people at Mar-a-Lago are already getting irritated with Elon Musk for being too big for his britches and trying to make it seem like the president-elect owes him something, which he may owe him the entire election for all we know. That also the just incredible level of no experience. South Dakota Kristi Noem will be nominated to be Secretary of Homeland Security. They're shooting the dogs. They're shooting the cats. They're shooting the dogs. They're shooting the cats. This is the lady that killed her dog in a shallow grave in her backyard. Zero experience on Homeland Security. But she knows how to kill the dogs, kill the cats. And you was worried about the Haitians. Let's go to Sandra from L.A. Good morning, Sandra. Sandra, you there? Talk to me, lady. Perhaps we have lost Sandra, or maybe she accidentally muted herself, which seems to be an epidemic of the Zoom era. One more time, one more chance, Sandra. You want to talk to me? And I'll take that as a no. Okay, well, call me back if you want. Something's going on with your phone. Maybe you're in a tunnel. Who knows? 800-920-1580. We're going to Kwamel from Gardena. Good morning.
I heard a noise. I said, "Oh, I think I might be on cue." Hello there. Yes, indeed. In the immortal words of our troll callers, I have a question.
That is so true. Okay,
So,
I ask the questions around here, Kwamel. I ask the questions. Yes, sir.
No. But okay, but I'm kind of flipping the call a little bit because I was going to kind of tee in on how we got pretty much as the administration is being built, they're playing on our faces with all these loyalists. And when I saw that the Department of Government officially was spelled Doge, I'm like, no. Okay. So the smack back is going to need to happen real soon, and we got to see who has a spine. I think this whole thing is going to be a test of who has a spine. Republicans, do they have a spine to ever step to Trump, or is it just that they wanted power that bad? Democrats, do they have a spine to get all these people with their anti-Democrat urban grudge back, or show and prove that they can do things and be effective, or they're just going to roll over and accept that they've lost folks and never go back after them, kind of like, Detroit in the 70s, building certain cars, and everybody flocks to Honda and Toyota, and suddenly brand loyalty's over there. And also, what views do you actually have? Are you really about this freedom business? Are you really about patriotism? Are you really about your rights and free speech and things like that? Or are you going to roll over if Trump does like how Nixon had Smothers Brothers canceled, and suddenly you can't ridicule him on SNL?
What, right?
So
it sure seems like it, right? Didn't he get his panties in a bunch because of the SNL portrayal of? I'm talking about Musk right now. He's already all angry, all snowflakey.
But that's the thing. They people like him have basically shown what scumbags they really are. Because he had the capital with us. I mean, we actually liked this man in the 2010s. We're like, Teslas and this whole, all these different things he thought was actually kind of cool back then.
I mean, and I've shared with you. I've shared with you, Cuomo, when I first met Elon Musk was 2011. And, I actually have been to his house a couple times and had a glass of wine with him. He seemed like a really nice guy. I don't know if he was just an undercover white supremacist or if he's such an opportunist that, now he's on the Trump train. It's suspect, though, because he is a white South African, right, whose dad profited off the toil of black labor and getting his his emerald mine money. So is it just that I was being delusional? Oh, he's a green energy guy. He seems like a nice guy. Or was
so cold,
though?
What's so cold though is you've been to South Africa and you saw the behavior, and I was like, oh my God, it's like I thought they was whooping some beehives behind them, dropping them K-bombs, But now I'm like, hold up, we got to look at Charlize Theron to him, be like, matter of fact, if you talking about throwing out immigrants, there you go.
Let's start there, right? Close the borders.
Okay.
But real talk. The white people in South Africa make the racist white people here look like, mild-mannered. I mean, they were just so aggressive and so empowered in their racism.
I don't know if that's a product, though, because I didn't get to go with y'all.
We still had a great time, by the way. Rolling 45 deep into a restaurant and watching white folks give us the side eye. It was pretty fun. That was pretty fun.
Wowzers. But, it's funny, though, now I need to pivot because I know I ain't got that much time. South Africa is still on the list of 15 countries that Black Americans are moving to or considering moving to, or those that are considered Black American friendly. And it was the only other African country on the list, along with Ghana.
Well, look, South
crazy.
Africa. I mean, and we're not in that much of a rush. South Africa is beautiful. The people are nice. Okay. They're like, if I was rich, and maybe I will be, I wouldn't mind buying a house in Cape Town right on the water. But I wouldn't move there because of the racist white people. Even though you get a pass, as soon as they realize you're quote unquote American, they back off because they think you might have a lawyer or some money or whatever. But they treat the South Africans like dirt on the bottom of their shoe, like slaves, and I can't take that. It makes me angry. I don't want to be angry like that. So Ghana's on the list, but my list would indefinitely include Tanzania. They have a stable democracy, really nice people. Zanzibar is fire. I would consider Senegal. Fairly stable democracy, even though they speak French. Most people speak English. They're hella gorgeous, which is always a plus. The food is good, beautiful
what
artwork.
About Nigeria?
I don't think I would move there. I now it's like New York, nice place to visit. I don't think I'd move there. I don't know. I think unless it's too much have and have nots for me. Like there's like the super wealthy Nigerians, and then most people are super, super, super poor. and the traffic is terrible. Makes LA look like Montana. I would be terrified to drive there, and it's just really, really a lot of people. It's beautiful. I think there's a lot of stereotypes about it, but it's also got Boko Haram and some conflict there over the oil and the multinational corporations stripping the wealth, which has led to corruption and other kinds of problems. I don't know that I would.
War colonialism.
Yeah, I don't know that I would live there. But shoot, I loved it so much. We're going back, obviously. We loved it. But as far as planning routes, buying a house, definitely Tanzania. Stable democracy for a long time, beautiful, kind people, speak English, love us. I would, like I said, I would consider Senegal. I would consider Zimbabwe, even though it's probably not that stable, just because the people were so nice, the food was so good, but you better bring your own money because the West is still trying to punish them for Mugabe taking back that land from the white people.
Yowzers. I hope I got still got time before the break for the question, because I actually do legit have a question.
Absolutely, Kwamel, it's you.
Oh, Dominique, you love me too much. I love you too much too. I love you too much. Anyway, so okay, now you grew up in the Bay. I grew up right here in L.A. Do you remember those commercials for California Pines, California City, and stuff like that? That Eric Estrada used to hawk, or you hear Larry Van Nuys.
I don't. But you have to remember, my mom was militant anti-TV. We weren't allowed to have a TV. She forced us to read. Shayon would have loved my mom. We were not allowed to have a television, so we only got to sneak TV at Grandma's house.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So,
culturally deprived. I'm culturally deprived in that way.
So to throw this out kind of on the same vein of, kind of talking about, where Black Americans come together, because I remember where there was like a whole thing of, like, a lot of Black folks were looking at Toomsboro, Georgia, and figuring out, how they wanted to kind of build it and freak it and, start to have a new boom place there. And because I was talking to a young lady that lived in the Poconos, I was like, hold up, I remember those Poconos commercials, kind of similar to how we had the California Pines commercials, California City commercials, and everything I would see about California City, I started to think, hold up, if the infrastructure is there and they just don't have the homes built, why not see about taking over California City and actually building it into something?
Well, I think as housing gets more and more expensive, and in this new Confederate American apartheid environment, we may be considering all kinds of options, including stuff like that. That's what circle your wagons could mean.
Yeah, no, but as far as like building power and finding places where we can actually build Wakanda, and that there wouldn't be a lot of their interference. I'm not saying that couldn't eventually come to California, because I know California City is kind of close to Bakersfield, where it is a lot of them over there.
Plus the police in that part of the state are very problematic. Yeah, but before I forget, Kwamel, another option if you're thinking of moving to Africa, it would definitely be the Gambia. It's English speaking, very friendly, little on the colonized side, but really, really, really beautiful. And there's an entire commune there made up of Black Americans from the Nation of Islam. I had no idea. We were driving through Gambia, and I'm like, what's that? You see all the NOI symbols and stuff. Apparently it's been there since the 70s, a group of brothers and sisters from this country that moved, bought a big old piece of land in Gambia, and they're still there thriving.
Indeed. But to leave you with this, my whole thing is, of course, I'm done mourning. Is I believe I may have said it before, but there's an opportunity right now if we get the trash pandas together as well, where we get back on code and change this culture, get the health together, and begin to look at where we could do this right. Because I feel like also, and cause I know we're scared against the break, we kind of gave up doing that in the 70s. We're like, okay, integration then came, and no, everything's fine. Let's just buy a Cadillac and be cool. But now that we see that things maybe are not, we get back to condo building.
I mean, I think you're on the pulse of the zeitgeist. Everything I'm seeing and hearing is, you know what? Black first. Not forget America first. Is Black America first right now. And I don't mean to be, a non-solidarity, non-empathetic person, but I can understand why many of us are feeling that way. We gotta worry about us right now. We'll talk to you. We'll see you on the other side. Kwamel called 800-920-1580. You can do the same. We are KBLA Talk 1580, 40 acres and a mic.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Bad Ash Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin ultra strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Yeah, roll it, drop it.
Okay.
Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl. Yeah, it's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, lawyers, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I thank you indeed, and you are welcome in. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580, keeping the phone lines wide open through the bottom of the hour. Or, thinking about places you can go. One of the good things about Africa, if you're thinking about fleeing, I know Dr. Gerald Horn was saying he's considering at this point moving to Canada, right? It's close, English speaking, democratic. Not that easy to get a visa, but someone like him may be able to probably teach or something like that. They have pretty strict immigration policies, actually, when you consider that folks have been running there for generations. But, if you're a brilliant scholar and author, or you're wealthy, or you are a student, those are ways to go. Many African nations have pretty liberal policies when it comes to Black Americans getting citizenship, dual citizenship, or getting at least residency there. Tanzania is one of those. If you buy a home, I believe, of $100,000 or more investment in a home or business, you can automatically stay. And then places like Kenya, you can, and Ghana, you can apply for dual citizenship. It may take some time, but, that's another reason to consider it. For me, the thing about Americans repatriating to Africa, though, is that you got to have a way to make a living, right? It's not like you can just go and necessarily get a job. You're going to be competing with a massive workforce. The human resources is one of the reasons colonizers like China love Africa so much, is one of the reasons why they stole us from there. So you want to go with a retirement fund or Social Security, although we don't know how long it's going to be solvent under the Trump administration. You want to go with savings. Perhaps you sold your house, or you have some kind of investment annuity, or you're able to work online, right? So you're able to continue whatever it is you're doing, no matter where you are in the world, work from home type situation. That, to me, would be the most viable way if you're really thinking about moving to Africa. Many years ago, I read this book. It's by an Argentinian guy. Can't remember the exact name. It was like Prisoner Without a Name, Man Without a Number, or something like that. And it's about this guy who was thrown in jail under an authoritarian regime there in South America. And it was really scary. When I was in high school, they made us read Kafka. And it makes you think about the extreme consequences of what can happen under an authoritarian regime. I mean, even if you look at, well, strictly speaking, people wouldn't call us a fascist country probably during the 60s and 70s, but you look at the fact that we still have Black radical political prisoners. We have seen people who were part of the Black liberation movement, whether it be the Panther Party or others, sentenced to these long, draconian prison stays. You have people like Leonard Peltier in the American Indian movement still in prison as a frail elder. And that's why I keep saying, or Mumia Abu-Jamal, that's why I keep saying, I wish Biden would pardon all those folks. I wish he would do an executive order on reparations, do an executive order on equal pay for women, do an executive order on voting rights, and one on police abuse that goes further than the one he already did, and then make Trump undo all of that. But when I think about that, I think about why people want to leave. You want to get out before you end up in a concentration camp, as the Japanese Americans did during World War II. You want to get out before you end up in as a political prisoner, like Leonard Peltier. You want to. At the same time, I keep saying I'm team stay and fight. That's my plan. But I can see a logical reason why people would think about getting the hell out of Dodge. And even when, like Kwame was talking about, where do we go to create a black community? Is it California City? I say the whole state. Can we just have the state? But that ain't going to happen, right? But when you talk like that, we have to understand that you'd still, even if you had a nation within a nation, you'd still be surrounded, right? Infrastructure, goods and services, power. It's like Gaza, right? You're supposed to be a nation. Gaza's supposed to be Palestine, but Israel controls their power, their water, their borders. And so that's the problem with a nation within a nation. Ben Frank says, free all political prisoners. Starving myself to life asks, why didn't Obama pardon them? Why would he? He's a centrist. We knew what we were getting with him. We were not getting a progressive. We were not getting a radical. We were getting a centrist. We got our first black president. We did get the Affordable Care Act. But were you going to get freedom for African liberation movement soldiers? No, that's not what he was going to do. And to that point, the reason I say I call on Biden to do it, even though I know it's highly unlikely, is because he has nothing to lose. He's hella old. He's already been president, senator, and everything else in between. Why not go out bold? Sign a reparations executive order. Make history. Give Black America a reason to celebrate you and celebrate anything in our current climate. But I think Dr. Horn is right. We're better on defense than offense, so let the defense begin. Got some really important information for you, chronologically gifted Americans and others, when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. President Biden plans to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping when he visits Peru for the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. This is the 3rd time Biden and Xi will speak face-to-face. It's also the last time they're expected to meet. If Vice President Kamala Harris runs for governor of California in 2026, she could have a significant edge. A survey from the UC Berkeley Institute shows nearly half of voters and 72% of Democrats support her. Several top bacterial STIs are declining after rising earlier this century. A CDC report shows primary and secondary syphilis cases dropped 10% last year, gonorrhea declined 7%, and chlamydia cases remained stable between 2021 and 2023. And the San Antonio Spurs say Coach Greg Popovich suffered a mild stroke. Popovich has started a rehabilitation program and is expected to make a full recovery. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Topping off a dessert or swirling it onto hot cocoa, Reddi-wip is here to whip up some holiday cheer. Reddi-wip is made with real cream, so pick up a can or 2. Reddi-wip.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron James continues to be one of the most amazing athletes in the history of sports. At age 39, LeBron became the oldest NBA player to have a triple-double in 3 straight games. LeBron had 35 points, 14 assists, and 12 rebounds last night in the Lakers' 128-123 win over Memphis. In the 4th quarter alone, LeBron sparked the Lakers' comeback with 9 points, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds. The Lakers are 6-0 at home for the first time since 2010. The Clippers lost in Houston last night, 111-103. James Harden was the Clippers' only bright spot with 19 points and 7 assists. Magic Johnson's Washington Commanders are on national TV tonight. The Commanders are at Philadelphia in the NFL's Thursday night matchup. 5 p.m. kickoff on Prime Video. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. The Equinox EV and all-new Equinox, America's best compact SUV for new vehicle quality by J.D. Power, offer both confidence and style to see you through the holiday season. It's easy to see why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Find your red tag. Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select popular Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Award based on 2024 models for J.D. Power 2024 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information. Visit jdpower.com/awards. Offer available on all 2025 Equinox and 2024 Silverado, Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV models. Monthly payment is $2,860 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment is 22.2%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 12/2/24.
Oh no. Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. Don't be afraid. And you know, we've got some questions around the Africa trip. We'll talk more about it. But we are going to Nigeria, the Republic of Benin, and Ghana this year. And you can go. It's not sold out yet. We are having another Zoom soon. And if you want more information about it, you can call 310-676-7300, 310-676-7300, or keep your eye on my Instagram, DiPrima Radio. I'll be posting our next meeting. I'm excited now to have, though, joining us a community outreach specialist with California Health Advocates. He joined California Health Advocates team in 2024 as a engagement specialist. He's focused on working for healthy communities, waste reduction, energy efficiency, community building, and sustainable development. And he is here joining us today as a community outreach specialist, engagement specialist with the Senior Medicare Patrol. Ben Winker, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dominique.
A lot of titles, a lot of different kinds of work that you've done. But most of our KBLA delegation, we've heard the really informative promos talking about Medicare fraud and all of these different scams. And many of us have actually been either victims or attempted victims of such fraud?
So many across California, across the states, in the territories. It's amazing. Up to or almost and probably more than $60 billion a year is siphoned off of the Medicare fund due to fraud and scams. So it's a real horrible issue.
I mean, and a lot of times people call you. I've gotten these calls where they ask you for your information, or they'll tell you something scary like, if you don't do this, the police are going to come and arrest you, or, crazy things like that.
Oh, yeah. They would pressure you into quickly giving up your credit cards and your money and tell you they're going to send you wonderful gifts and free services and clean your house and send you food cards. And if it's too good to be true, again, it is. It's a scam.
Or even too bad to be true. I had someone call me and tell me that the someone was going to come and arrest me. And I actually called them back and started harassing them because, that's what I do. I'm a talk radio host. Well, who's going to come and what are you talking about? And
I think the most important thing that you do and I do is we use our words and we try to educate and advocate for people and take care of people. And the California Health Advocates is the umbrella organization, and they help run in California specifically the Senior Medicare Patrol. The Senior Medicare Patrol is fraud prevention, education, and advocacy. And so we help educate people about preventing fraud by protecting your Medicare card and your Social Security card like a credit card. Because once people have that information, they can bill Medicare for services that you never see or get, and you might not notice.
So, I mean, those commercials, or promotions, they kind of make it seem like you can never answer your phone. And I want to have a social life, like what, so how do you sort out between, a friendly call or something that's a scam?
Honestly, if somebody's calling you and saying they're from Social Security or Medicare, it's a scam.
Or even the IRS.
It's a scam. They will not call you. They don't call you. If you were to call Medicare or Social Security or the IRS, you're calling the legitimate place, and therefore, you're going to share some information. So a flyer on the telephone pole, something you see at the community center, read the fine print. It might be an insurance agent trying to get you to sign up for something that might not be beneficial.
Right. So then you actually need to make sure you have the right number and call them yourself, or, they send you mean letters.
Yes, respond to those mean letters. Organize your mail. I know we get a ton of junk mail and a ton of junk calls and a ton of junk spam in our emails, but go through them periodically and figure out what is what. Separate your Medicare forms and date them if you can. Organize them that way. Social Security and Medi-Cal as well if you're on Medi-Cal. Then you can kind of figure out the steps you need to do to stay ahead of any problems that might arise. But the scammers are out to get you, and they might even buy your information.
Wow.
And so they might call you and say, Dominique, is this your Medicare? Did you get your new Medicare card? Is this your Medicare number? Oh, we need to send you the new one. It's got a chip and it'll have extra benefits. Well, they've bought that from some fraudulent provider or somebody doing some scammy stuff, and they will use that to bill Medicare. You might not even see the product or see that your own bill is you're getting charged that, but Medicare's getting charged that, and they're not providing the services.
So now, if we are scammed, if we accidentally did give out some information or something, and then we start going, uh-oh, what do we do?
So the California Medicare Fraud Prevention Program, Senior Medicare Fraud Prevention Program, their number is 1-855-613-7080, and we have two wonderful fraud investigators, and they will call you back. You'll leave information. They'll call you back or answer the phone and talk to you right then, and talk to you about what happened. Figure out where your information got moved or swirled around in the system, and then try to help rectify it and get restitution back to the Medicare fund and alleviate the stress on you. So our fraud investigators are quite wonderful, and they've saved millions of dollars for beneficiaries in California specifically.
Right. So you said earlier, and that they're getting your information and those charges are going to Medicare. You may never be charged for it. But I personally could still end up being compromised, right, when they have my information.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like somebody stealing your Social Security card and billing for, using that for work purposes or other things, and you come to find out they've opened a bunch of credit cards in your name. It's really incredible to be frauded, because sometimes people go and need a new Medicare number generated, but sometimes we can stop it.
Wow.
One of the most important things you can always do is read the Medicare summary notices if you get original Medicare, or your educational explanation of benefits, which is for the Medicare Advantage plans. And so you read through those services, and then you compare them to your calendar of doctor appointments or specialist appointments or dental appointments, and find out what you asked for the doctor, what they prescribed to you, what treatments they might have asked you to follow up on, and then if you were charged or Medicare was charged for those services, and you read those MSNs and EOBs for duplicate charges, upcoding, billing issues, and all of those. There's some innocence, but there's a lot of really bad actors that will upcode.
So you want us to keep a healthcare journal or a healthcare calendar?
There's a wonderful product we have. I'm sorry I don't have an example, but Senior Medicare Patrol can send them out, and we will be at events throughout California in the next year handing out healthcare trackers. And it's a wonderful little booklet, and it's got a date, and you put your appointments in there. So you put down, I'm going to go talk to my doctor about this issue, and this issue. And then you use that and compare it with your essentially Medicare receipt, the Medicare summary notice or EOB, to find out, did you get those services? Did you ask for braces that showed up in the mail? Did your doctor ask for braces that might have showed up in the mail? And if you didn't and your doctor didn't, you might want to call us at that 855 number, 613-7080, to find out if that's true. And then there's also a great program in the state of California called the HICAP program, which stands for the Health Insurance Counseling and Advocacy Program. And their statewide number is 800-434-0222. And they do unbiased counseling. They're representatives throughout the whole state. Every county has some counselors in there, and they do unbiased counseling. They help you review your plan options, your choices, the plans you're in, the cost comparisons, and they help look through some of the billing issues and try to figure it out as well. They're a great service as well.
Now, let's say, one of the things you have here on the Senior Medicare Patrol pamphlet is that, never accept medical equipment or supplies unless they're ordered by your doctor. And I think we've all read articles in the newspaper about this massive Medicare fraud where they're ordering wheelchairs and braces and all kinds of prosthetics. Can I, the Medicare card holder, get in trouble for that?
Not necessarily, unless you're part of the scam or the fraud.
Right.
And so, you want to report those things, because when somebody might talk about the insolvency of the program, Social Security or Medicare, some of that's fraud that's being stolen from Medicare beneficiaries. And so we want the money to go to the people that need it, that are in places that need that support. And so those braces, for example, somebody was sent 3 braces, 2 back braces and a knee brace, and the Medicare program was charged $3,900 for some foam and some Velcro. And so it adds up. Up to $60 billion, and that's just reported. So you can imagine the people that were discouraged or feel beat down because they feel they got scammed or frauded and not reporting it and just going along and paying the bill. And so there could be a lot more fraud that we just haven't undercovered yet.
All right, we're talking with Ben Winker. If you got a question or conversation, we've got a couple things here in the chat. We welcome them, 800-920-1580. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
If you're an adult in need of an accredited high school diploma, the Los Angeles Public Library can help. You could earn one for free in as few as 5 months, online with 24/7 access. You also get a personal academic coach, plus special training focused on 9 in-demand industries, as well as a resume and cover letter to advance your career. Visit the website at lapl.org/diploma. That's lapl.org/diploma.
Many homeowners and businesses use man-made stone as an alternative to traditional stone for their countertops. Handling these products puts workers' lives at risk. Without proper conditions, workers could die from the terminal lung disease silicosis. Employers must supply respiratory protection and water systems. It's essential to wet stone when cutting it to prevent breathing in dust. Do away with dusty, deadly practices. Visit WorkSafeWithSilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
Join the Black Hollywood Education and Resource Center for a great day in Black Hollywood. Friday, November 15th, 7 p.m. at the Regal LA Live Theaters, downtown Los Angeles. This is the opening night celebration of the 30th annual S.E. Manley African American Short Film Showcase, honoring Deborah Pratt, Lyndon Barrios, Janine Sherman Barrios, Art Sims, Dee Stevens, Gina Lemieux Davis, and Dr. Gloria Zervine. The weekend continues on Saturday, November 16th and November 17th with over 60 short films and industry panels on careers in Hollywood and directors on directing. Get your tickets today at bherc.org or call 323-957-4656. Again, 323-957-4656. See you there. That's bherc.org.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Fam, some of y'all need to hear this. If you owe the IRS $8,000 or more, if you haven't filed your taxes, or if you are going through an audit and you're fighting the IRS, you need someone on your side, an ally. Allies Tax Relief has a large team of professionals that negotiates with the IRS on behalf of taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief will protect your wages from being garnished, your bank account from being levied, and your assets from being seized by the IRS. Allies Tax Relief has fought for thousands of Americans in your situation. There's no reason to be embarrassed. Don't let fear stop you from calling and resolving your issue. Call 800-854-2815 today for a free consultation. Allies teams of tax attorneys, CPAs, and enrolled agents have negotiated millions in IRS tax debt, and they're ready to fight for you. Call today for the freedom you've been waiting for. Call 800-854-2815 or visit alliestaxrelief.com.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And joining me in the studio, so you can see him if you're on youtube.com, is a community outreach specialist of California Health Advocates, Ben Winker. And right now we are actually in open enrollment, right, for Medicare. So what does that actually mean?
So open enrollment is a time when you can review and change your drug plan for 2025, the coming year. So from October 15th through December 7th, you might go to Medicare.gov, find plans. It's a great website with a lot of different services, and you can look up, find plans, find pharmaceutical plans, and then you enter your prescriptions, and it literally sorts them, lowest cost to highest cost. And you enter your pharmacies that you prefer. You might have a pharmacy you like working with, and it literally sorts it out. And you can press enroll, and that would start January 1st, midnight 01, and the old one will automatically drop off at midnight on the 2024. So it's a great time. Premiums change every year, and with some of the Inflation Reduction Act that came out during this current presidency, drugs were capped at $2,000. So if the caps on the copays for the prescriptions are pretty stopped, the prescription companies are going to try and make money other ways. So they'll shift around the premiums, the deductibles, and so a premium that might be 40 cents this year a month might be $17.40 next year. So if you're living on your Social Security account or a small pension as well, come March or April, all of a sudden you might notice $50, $100 is missing. That you know, where did that go? And it's too late at that point to change. So this is the time to do it. And that high cap program, the Health Insurance Counseling and Advocacy Program, that's the place to go to get help for that program. And again, that number is 800-434-0222. And you can go to the California Health Advocates at cahealthadvocates.org, and you can find the high cap that serves your county. So again, cahealthadvocates.org.
Okay, so you can find the help that you need. For some of our older Americans are not great online. So if you're not great online and you can't go to Medicare.gov, can you just call the 800-434-0222 number and someone will walk you through it?
Yes. Definitely this is an impacted time period. So
no doubt.
So you might be a little bit low on the list at this point, unfortunately.
You might be on hold for
you
a week or
might be on hold, and I hope not. But you definitely want to create that relationship with that group, because those are your advocates. Those are the people that are the counselors that are really going to walk you through changes. You can also look at changing to a Medicare Advantage plan at this period, but original Medicare follows you throughout the country. So if you have original Medicare with a drug plan and a supplement plan, and you're visiting family members in another state, Medicare covers you in that other state. Medicare Advantage plans are sometimes network oriented, so they might only cover you in your current living situation.
Wow, it's a lot of complicated things to navigate. So, I mean, why seniors, and what are some of the kinds of scams that we're looking at? I mean, I always wonder why the targets are so often seniors.
So often, a mother or a father might lose their partner, and they're living alone in a house, and they don't have a lot of social engagement. So social isolation is a huge issue with people. And as we get older, we're more isolated. And so when we get the friendly person on the phone, we might want to give them some time because they're really nice and they're promising us free things. And the shift towards some of this scams are men will call women and women will call men, and it makes that romance kind of bubbly relationship thing grow. And then they're able to say, oh, I do notice, you live at this address, and is this your Medicare number? And often if you just say yes on the phone to a scammer, that's permission to scam you further. So a lot of it's just isolation. A lot of it's not knowing where to turn. It's horrible.
So really give me some examples of the kind of thing we're talking about.
So some of the things, skin right now, currently skin grafts. So, if you're bedbound in a hospice or skilled nursing facility, doctors and prescribers that are fraudulent will order huge amounts of skin grafts and overcharge for services they're not giving you or giving that beneficiary. So they might need a small graft due to a bed sore, but they don't need, a lot of skin grafts. So that's a big one. Urinary catheters is a big one, where people are sent subscriptions of urinary catheters and pads if you're wheelchair bound, and they don't need those or they weren't prescribed those. They just get that in their mind. The Medicare plastic card is another scam that's still going on. Hospice is one of the biggest ones in California, and that's where people literally on the street might get your card, might talk to you on the corner with the little pop-up tent, offer you a free phone, free money, free money card, free home services like cleaning, dishes, food prep, and then enroll you in hospice. And then when you go to your pharmacist to get a prescription, they say, well, we can't serve you anymore because you're getting your services through hospice. But when we dig down and our fraud investigators investigate, they find it's a shuttered business, paper on the windows, dead plants in the lobby, and there's nobody there, and there's nobody providing those
So
services.
They're actually enrolling older Americans in hospice, which is end-of-life care.
Yes.
And then they can't get other care they need.
Yes.
I.e. a doctor.
Yes.
Or
the specialist, the dental.
Right.
Everything. It's really horrible.
That is really insane. So again, right now, open enrollment, but the quest to overcome these scams, to protect, detect, and report, as you guys say, that's ongoing.
Ongoing. And our fraud investigator helped stop a $9 million scheme for a hospice program just this past year. It took 3 years of investigation to get to that point, but that person's out of business. Scams happen every day, and they're prevalent across the board. You could be a Medicare recipient or people that are not on Medicare as well.
Yeah, I mean, it amazes me. My own mom, may she rest in peace, called me one day, totally in a panic about something from a scammer call. And my mom's written 50 books. Like, she's not really naive. Yeah. But I'm like, Mom, does that sound really likely? Let's break it down. But I think it's the panic factor too, right?
It is, and they make it urgent. They put the pressure on people. They provide information to seem like they're familiar, like they know who you are.
Right.
And that just, it jumps the hurdles.
And is that where the advocates come in?
Yeah, yes. So the Senior Medicare Patrol is a wonderful one. If you see a flyer or a brochure or a pamphlet or given a business card, you can call us and we can try and find out if it's legitimate. And we'd like examples of scams. So we want to see those things that are out there so we find out more about the current trends and we can help alert the Office of Inspector General, the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and the federal government so they can help stop these scams as well.
Wow. Real quick, because we're almost out of time here, but I heard Zelle, and I heard that clicking on certain emails or websites could also, scam you.
They're getting so technically advanced. It's challenging. Now with the AI voices, they can do your voice, sounds just like you, and I'm hearing your voice, and you're telling me you need a $5 promo card from the restaurant down the street, and it's just a scam. So you got to be careful.
Wow. Okay. So in that case, it's, hey, hang up. Let me call you back.
Get the name, get the number.
Yeah.
Tell them you'll call them back.
I mean, because if it sounds like my kid,
yes.
I mean, baby, hey, baby, let me call you back before I send you that wire.
Yeah. Did you really need snow chains? You're not in the snow.
Right. Yeah. The good old common sense.
Yes. No free lunch.
Well, okay. Ben Winker, thank you so much. We appreciate the conversation. One more time, that number for the Senior Medicare Patrol, if you would.
That statewide number is 1-855-613-7080. And thank you so much, Dominique.
855-613-7080. Thank you for all the work you're doing to safeguard our precious older Americans.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, and your work is appreciated as well. The Tavis Smiley Show is up next. He's always got a great lineup for you. And my quote for today is going to be James Baldwin. He says, I love America more than any other country in this world. And exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually. Let's go and keep our back and forth going on social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. The radio station is at KBLA 1580 on all platforms. Please like, subscribe, and leave a smart-ass comment. We count on you for that. Tomorrow is Freedman Friday. Attorney Cryer will be with me, and we'll be unpacking the latest conversations on reparations. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. President Biden plans to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping when he visits Peru for the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. This is the 3rd time Biden and Xi will speak face-to-face. It's also the last time they're expected to meet. If Vice President Kamala Harris runs for governor of California in 2026, she could have a significant edge. A survey from the UC Berkeley Institute shows nearly half of voters and 72% of Democrats support her. Several top bacterial STIs are declining after rising earlier this century. A CDC report shows primary and secondary syphilis cases dropped 10% last year, gonorrhea declined 7%, and chlamydia cases remained stable between 2021 and 2023. And the San Antonio Spurs say Coach Greg Popovich suffered a mild stroke. Popovich has started a rehabilitation program and is expected to make a full recovery. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Topping off a dessert or swirling it onto hot cocoa, Reddi-wip is here to whip up some holiday cheer. Reddi-wip is made with real cream, so pick up a can or two. Ready Whip.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron James continues to be one of the most amazing athletes in the history of sports. At age 39, LeBron became the oldest NBA player to have a triple-double in 3 straight games. LeBron had 35 points, 14 assists, and 12 rebounds last night in the Lakers' 128-123 win over Memphis. In the fourth quarter alone, LeBron sparked the Lakers' comeback with 9 points, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds. The Lakers are 6-0 at home for the first time since 2010. The Clippers lost in Houston last night, 111-103. James Harden was the Clippers' only bright spot with 19 points and 7 assists. Magic Johnson's Washington Commanders are on national TV tonight. The Commanders are at Philadelphia in the NFL's Thursday night matchup, 5 p.m. kickoff on Prime Video. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Feeding Our Friends on the Outside will be hosting its 15th annual Feeding the Homeless event in Greater Los Angeles on Sunday, November 10th from noon until at 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. If you would like to donate or volunteer, please call 310-981-6377 or email them at feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. It's the 15th anniversary of Feeding Our Friends on the Outside, Sunday, November 10th from noon until 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. For more information, call 310-981-6377. 310-981-6377. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.